Hello, everybody. Morgan Holiday here. I'm glad everybody was able to tune in. It's Monday, which I like to call Monslay because it's the beginning of the week, new goals, fresh start, and it's time to make it happen and have the right mindset on. So, listen, I'm here ready to rock and roll. I hope you guys are. I hope you have notes where you can take good notes, write down any questions you have because you can comment below and I will communicate with you if you have any questions on anything that we're covering, because today we're going to cover what I call Morgan's 6 most important selling principles. These are principles that you need to keep in mind on each and every call, each and every day when you go in and you're going to sell. Okay, so we're going to talk about and break down those 6 principles so you know exactly where your mindset should be when you're going into each and every call. Okay, because the first principle is, it seems pretty simple, right? People buy from people that they like and trust, right? That's sales 101. The main thing is, listen, it's very important to build rapport, make a connection, and really find out what your client is looking to do, where they're looking to go before you actually just go into a sale. Listen, the people, the clients, everybody out there knows when they're talking with a salesperson, their job is to get sold, right? So we have to do something a little bit different. You need to get people to like you. You need to get people to trust you. And how do you do that? You're going to do that by asking the right questions in the beginning. You need to qualify them. You need to find out what got you interested. Where are you looking to go? What is it that you're looking to accomplish, John? What has held you back from getting this going in the past? And sincerely find out from your clients where they're looking to go. And this way you can build a key relationship. You can get to know your client. They can actually get to know you. Let me ask you this. What salesperson do you know spends a good 15 minutes on a phone call getting to know their client? Not many of them out there. A lot of us are used to one-time closes, going in for the close, and that's all great. But you can be a lot more successful if you start earning the trust of your clients. If they like you, if they trust you, they're going to buy from you. It's one thing they like you and they're going to listen to you. But if they trust you, they're going to buy from you. So keep that in mind. Treat people how you want to be treated. Don't be there and don't go into a call and just go for the close. You need to find out, ask the right questions, build a relationship, make a connection with that person, show them how you relate to them, and focus on building that relationship, because when it's time to close, it's going to be a lot more simpler for you. So that's principle number 1. People buy from people they like and trust. Let's go on to number 2. Principle number 2 is emotions create sales. People buy out of emotional reasons and they justify their decision later with logic. Remember that. People buy out of emotional reasons. Here's a fact for you. The most successful salespeople are those who are masters at identifying the prospect's emotions, then leveraging those emotions and making the sale. How do we do that? This is how we're going to do it, right? When we're qualifying our client and we're trying to figure out what got them interested, what pulled the trigger, what had you fill out our information, what prompted you to go to our website, what made you fill out that form, whatever it is that got them interested, find out why they did that, okay? What was the main reason that made you decide to go to our website, fill out this form, submit your information? Because I know that you didn't submit it for any old reason, right? You need to find out their why. Whether their why be because I need money for my kids' college, or their why may be I have no retirement set aside for me and my family, or the why might be that the husband just lost their job and the wife is a stay-at-home mom and now they're not sure of what their next income stream would be. These are all emotional reasons that at the end of the day, there's a deep layer to that emotional reason. What is she going to do if her husband has lost his job and she's a stay-at-home mom and they have 4 kids? What is she going to do if he doesn't find another job with that same amount of income, or any income for that matter? They could end up homeless if they don't make a real fast decision on making the next move, right? It's very, very important to use the why, because When it's time to close that client or when it's time to follow up and close, guess what? We're going to use their why to help leverage the close. One of the key things is knowing that you are listening to your clients. That's going to give you so much credibility, knowing that you remember the original conversation that you had with your client. So when it's time to close and the client's not sure if they should move forward, what are you going to do? You're going to leverage their why. You're going to bring their why back up and find out what got you interested, Don. Because I know when we first spoke, you told me that we're looking to do something because your husband just lost his job and you guys have 4 kids and you're not working. You're not working right now. Let me ask you this, John or Lisa, what are you going to do? What is your plan if you guys don't do this? You got to leverage their why and tie that in with the close. Most people buy from emotional reasons. Remember that. Remember, people buy off of emotion. It's that simple. All that technical talk and it's going to do this, this, and this for you. Listen, that's great and everything, knowing what the system or what the product is going to do. But if you don't have that emotional reason in there, the why, then it's going to be even harder to close. And let me tell you this, if you find out the why and you start leveraging that when it's time to close, you'll see how much easier it is to close that client. You've heard the saying, people that cry buy, right? It's not a good terminology really to use, but it's very, very true. There's truth to that. People that cry end up buying. Because now you've tied into the emotional reason and now they're thinking, oh my God, this is my plan. This can truly help me set up a retirement for me and my family. This can help my daughter get into college. Going to college has been one of her biggest dreams. Right? So you need to find out the emotions because emotions create sales. Remember that and be sincere when finding out the emotion and figuring out what their why is. Because it's very, very important when it's time to leverage the close. Principle number 3, ask questions and shut up. It's that simple. The one who speaks the most loses. You guys have heard that, right? So a good salesperson is going to be a very, very, very good listener. You're going to let your client talk and talk and talk about themselves. And also, by you asking the right questions, it's going to get you to where you're trying to go. We're asking specific questions for specific reasons. You will never know why they would or why they would not buy if you don't ask questions. Right? They have to be strategic and you have to ask and you need to be a good listener and take note on everything that they're saying. You will never know the problems they want to solve or the desire they want to achieve if you don't ask questions. You're not being sincere if you're not asking questions, because a good salesperson is going to try to figure out, well, what is it that you're looking to accomplish, John? Where is it that you're looking to go? Why? I mean, this is such a great plan. Tell me why, John, have you not done this in the past? Why has it taken you this long to start putting in a plan of attack for this goal? You will not know the objections they have and why they didn't buy if you don't ask open-ended questions like why, what, how, when, and then listen and take note. Because guess what? When it's time to close, you have all this ammunition. You need to know your client, basically. You need to get to know them. The more that you're a good listener and you're simply trying to figure out how you can help them, they're going to want to do business with you all day long. They're going to want to talk to you, right? But by asking the right questions that is going to ultimately lead to the sale, because that's why a good salesperson asks questions, is because they know where they're looking to go. So when you have your qualifying questions, make sure they're good, strategic, qualifying questions to help you get to where you're going, which is the sale. Ask questions and shut up. Be a good listener. That's one of the key things. Your most top salespeople are good listeners, right? So make sure you keep principle 3 in mind because it's one of my favorites. Okay, so let's go on to principle 4. Principle 4 is another one of my favorites. Okay, excitement is contagious. Okay, it's very, very important to be excited on the phone. Okay, or even when you're face to face with your client or prospect, get your client excited. Okay, if they're down, bring them up, be cheerful, right? It's one thing to be overly, rambunctious and in their face. But listen, if you have a great product and someone has showed interest, excitement is contagious. People want to be a part of something like that. Are you kidding me? You don't want to be on the phone like, "Hi Lisa, this is Morgan. How can I help you today?" "Hi Lisa, this is Morgan from so-and-so company. Listen, I just got your information. How are you doing today?" Great, right? Well, listen, you just filled out some great information. Let me just ask you a couple questions, Lisa, because I want to get to know you a little bit. I want to figure out what it is that you're looking to do, right? But excitement is contagious. And quite honestly, being down and out is contagious. So if you're on the phone and you're kind of just going through the motions, your clients are going to feel that. And quite honestly, they won't stay on the phone for long with you. And they're really not going to stay on the phone to buy from you. Okay? So remember, be excited. Especially if you have a good product that you can believe in and you know you're helping and you're changing lives. It's very, very important. Remember, whether it's excitement or it's because you're down and out, it's going to be contagious straight through the phone, straight face to face with that client. So remember, just always, excitement sells. And it's contagious no matter which route. That's principle number 4. Now, principle number 5, scarcity works. Now, what do I mean by that? Use scarcity methods like deadlines or limited supply. You need to get a commitment. That's the biggest thing, getting a commitment. It's not bad to say, listen, in 2 weeks, the price could be going up by $200-$300. I recommend, John, we get going on this now because in 2 to 3 weeks, you'd already have a lot of this information digested and we can start getting ready to take the next step, whatever that might be in the program. But you want to get a commitment, and it's okay to put a deadline because then what do they say? Well, you know what? I could possibly get it by this Friday. Or you can throw the ball back in their court and say, listen, John, I'm not here to swipe your credit card, and this is some of my closing tools. But listen, I could save you $200-$300 by you getting going this week. Do you think that you can get going by Friday this week? You think you can do that? Okay, great. And what time should I call you, John? Should I call you around 10 o'clock or should I call you around 2 o'clock? Which time works best for you? You want to get a commitment because you know why? Now you have the right to follow up with that client. And for whatever reason, listen, when I follow up with my clients, 98% of the time they pick up and we close just like we committed to. Because we had a strong trust, we had a strong relationship, and that commitment, it was definitely a commitment. So when I call them to follow up and I'm calling them to get the sale, they're usually there to respond. But I have the right to. Now let's say they didn't answer the phone. You still have the right to follow up because you scheduled a day and time to be there, right? So it's very, very important to get some type of commitment. Use some type of urgency. Use some type of scarcity. Urgency, scarcity, all those things work in sales. And it should be along the call. You know, somebody pushing you out 30 days. You must use some type of deadline or some type of urgency to get them going now. It's very, very important, but scarcity sells and scarcity works. So use it. That's principle number 5. Let's go on to principle number 6. Principle number 6 is a sale is a process, not an event. And what do I mean by that? Always, always, always follow up. I don't care what anybody says. The money is in the follow-up, guys. You're leaving money on the table if you're not following up with your clients. Just because your client said he's not ready to buy in 2 weeks or he's not ready to buy now, but he's ready to buy in 2 weeks, you better believe that I'll be there in 2 weeks and I'll follow up my client and make sure that I'm there in 2 weeks. because 90% of the time they're in a different place, or maybe some money has come through, or maybe now they're just happy, right? Or now they just feel like they're ready to make a decision. But you would never get any of that if you don't follow up. I know so many salespeople that say, oh, they didn't buy today, I'm never calling them again. Not what you want to do, guys. You want to follow up. I cannot stress how important it is to follow up. Most of your sales will result from multiple calls, conversations with the customer. And the better relationship and the better rapport you have, the shorter amount of time it will take you to close that sale. Multiple conversations allow you to build a better rapport and trust. That's one thing it will do. But if you have that from the jump, you better believe that on the first or second follow-up call, they will buy from you. But it's very, very important that you follow up. The money is in the follow-up, guys. I cannot stress it. It's so, so important. Don't be like those sales guys that's like, oh, I'm too good, I'm not going to follow up with them. 80% of your sales will be in follow-up. Keep that in mind. Build a quality pipeline. That's what a sales pipeline is for. You don't need to be the hardcore salesman all the time. Listen, I'm not here to swipe your credit card. Follow up. They need a week, be there for them in a week. If they need a week to think about it, if they need a week to clear their plate, work with them. The money is in the follow-up. Those are our 6 important selling principles. This is Monthly, so I hope that you guys have taken these principles and you've taken notes, because it's very, very important. And I'll do a quick recap just so you have them. Principle number 1, people buy from people that they like and trust. Principle number 2, emotions create sales. Principle number 3, ask questions and shut up. Principle number 4, excitement is contagious. Principle number 5, scarcity works. And finally, principle number 6, a sale is a process, not an event. Make sure you follow up. Don't leave any money on the table, guys. Follow up. Now stay tuned. That's our monthly training of the top 1%. We'll see you next week. We'll be back for another video. I hope to see you all there. I hope you got as much as you could out of this. Any questions, any comments you have, comment below and I'll make sure I get back to you. You guys go out there and crush it today. Let's make some money.